All right, so just had a quick break where we went and got a refill. So I'm going to title this about Wayne Rooney because I think that's the big talking topic of this weekend.
Yeah.
And the big question that I've got for you is Wayne Rooney. Now, there is an argument online and there is a split. And I'm not saying if anyone's right or anyone's wrong, but it seems like a lot of match-going fans can't stomach calling him a legend. Now, at the start of this video, you said you think he is a legend. Well, why do you think match-going fans, at least, haven't taken to
I
it?
think the first thing, when he first signed, was that Scouser thing. I remember going to matches and a United fan singing, "You Scouse bastard."
Not ironically, though.
No, but at the end of the day, he's not helped himself in some of the things he's done. He's got to be a legend, and he's the top goal scorer of our club. And like you said before, Steve, for someone to beat that, I've got to have 10 years and scoring 25 goals a season.
I think Wayne Rooney, the player, up until a couple of years ago, and especially, as we said before, his peak coincided with possibly United under Fergie's peak. 3 Champions League finals in 4 years. That Ronaldo team, now Ronaldo had a big part to play in that, but we also got to a final without him.
Yeah.
That was the peak of Wayne Rooney. I don't like people saying he sacrificed himself for the team. Did he? No, he was asked to play in a position by the best manager in the world, so he fucking plays in his position like he fucking should do. Yeah. I don't think he was ever the best number 9 in the world. I don't think he was ever the best number 10 in the world. But I tell you what, if there was a team, if I had a peak Wayne Rooney, he's in my fucking team somewhere. I find a place for that guy because he was a winner.
It was don't get me wrong, Steve. He had like 2 or 3 years there. It was virtually unplayable, you know.
When fucking Xavi and Iniesta was winning Ballon d'Ors coming out of their arse, sometimes well worth it. Sometimes I think Barcelona and Real Madrid get favoured in that voting a little bit unfairly.
It's only we win it.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it is at the moment, isn't it? Fuck me. But I think Wayne Rooney, for the feats that he did in England and across Europe, should have been in the top 3 of that at some point.
It's the same with Finger though. Scholes at United, why was he never played in the year?
Yeah, one never played it ever. And that's something like Scousers and Chelsea fans will say Lampard and Gerrard was better because they won individual awards.
Yeah, but
11 league titles says go fuck yourself, mate.
You look at Scholes there, you know what I mean? He was a great player. But not going back to Rooney, I just think that he'll always, till the day we stop going to football, he could, by the time me and you finish, his records could still be there for both England and United.
Could be.
And we're going to say, and your grandkids are going to say, oh, what was this Wayne Rooney like? And you could be thinking, great player but a cunt. You know,
Roy Keane was a great player but a cunt though.
Well, you need to be a cunt. You know what, I remember years ago when he calmed down a bit, Rooney, and it took away Wayne Rooney. It wasn't the Wayne Rooney. It was fine in it. If a centre half got off him, he'd boot him, money and get a booking, and that went from his game for a bit, for about 8 months. Then he got it back. Now for me, you've got to treat him with respect. I said to you, after he held the club to ransom, he got a nice pay rise. It was probably right because there was no decent players coming in. But for me, he held my club to ransom. I never boo him, never jeered him when his name was read out. I wouldn't sing his name again, but he still played for my team. And at the end of the day, I went and watched Manchester United to win, and whoever scored, that was all for me.
Did it 253 fucking times.
There you go. And for me, you've got to call him a legend. He's the highest goal scorer of the biggest club in the world. So what does that make him?
Well, the argument I would say to it, I won't answer it, me, because for starters I'm sick of arguing and defending my opinion on it. I will say there's a question mark against him, and I think you'd have to agree on that there is a question mark against him.
Of course there's a question mark on every player, isn't there?
So I say, okay, there's a question mark against it. I lean towards, it's probably a legend in all honesty, but I will say question mark. And I'll also say he didn't take to the fans as well as he could have. And that's something that upsets me with him. When you see, and people will take the tiniest little bit of what I'm saying and say, I don't think he's a legend because he doesn't tweet, right? It's not what I'm saying. Yeah. When you look at the whole package of everything that goes on to make Wayne Rooney, there was a fucking time, a couple of years ago, we lost to Newcastle, I think, and there was like 3 or 4 players, and one of them was Schweinsteiger, I think, who said, I am sorry to the fans. that was not good enough. We will do better. 3 points next week, right? Even if Rooney's got an intern to just say that bollocks, right? Whether it's true or not, just to. Wayne Rooney went on Twitter and said, "Going to watch Tiger Woods, can't wait." Didn't acknowledge this is the captain of Manchester United, right? And you don't have to be on Twitter. Scholes wasn't on Twitter. Roy Keane's not on Twitter. You don't have to be on Twitter, but if you are, I expect you to at least fucking acknowledge that we're paying you nearly $500,000 a week to just fucking say something about it.
He should never be captain from day one, for me. But that was the manager's choice. The thing at the time was he was going to stay and go, and then Moyes come.
He was gone.
He'd gone, and he was gone. His contract, and it was all happy days. And for me, no disrespect for him, we've seen some great years out of Rooney.
He was actually great for Moyes that first season when he had that bra on his head.
Yeah.
He was fucking good for us that season. It's after that he's not really.
He's just gone downhill, unfortunately. It happens to us all, but I think the best thing is for him to go back to the club who he loves.
But there's a lot of talk. It may have happened already because, like I said,
I think it's done me, Steve. I think it's done.
It's Wednesday for us too, but this goes out Monday. There's also talk of China, which I don't think you can rule out. There's also talk of MLS, although not so much this summer.
Yeah. I think it was one of the two. I think with his young family, America would be the one. No disrespect to China, I think America would be the one. But the word on the street is Steve that it's all done and dusted. Everything's his love. We've seen that, didn't we, the other year when they played Chelsea in the cup final and Saha scores after just 15 seconds and he's punching the air, which is hard if you've been brought up in Everton.
Of course it is. No, he texts his lad to Everton to go and watch him. He is an Everton fan and I don't hold that against him. Yeah. I don't think I hold him being Scouse against him in all honesty. Yeah. It's just that you look at how Paddy Evra connected to the fans, you look at how Schweinsteiger connected to the fans, Solskjaer. You're talking about a Norwegian, a French guy and a Germany, and they've all connected to it, and this is the guy that's the club captain. Now, okay, Roy Keane never really connected with the fans, so maybe I'm an hypocrite because Roy Keane's one of my favourite players. I just can't take to Rooney.
I just know that you're saying about Keane. If he would have got beat, Keane would have been at home kicking his doors in.
Yeah.
Rooney would be out on the piss smoking 20 fags.
Maybe that's the thing. So and you hear about him. He's not looking after himself. Giggsy started doing yoga. He might have been banging everything in sight, but he was doing yoga, which just prolonged his career.
Yeah, but I think that also as well, like the word on the street is that Rooney's known about this Everton move, and it's been done and dusted probably before the Europa Cup final, which broke me out. Him lifting the cup, nothing against him.
No, I think Valencia
should have lifted the cup. You know what I mean? And that when he come on there, I was buzzing. I was in the stadium that we'd won the pot to complete the jigsaw. But for Valencia to give him the armband and thinking, do you deserve that, Wayne? You probably do with what you've done for us. It's probably your last game. And apparently he's super fucking fit, Rooney. Now, you can be super fit, you've still got to have the ability of playing football. But what I look at honestly, apparently he's been in the gym, absolutely hammering it, not been out on a beer.
So this is 5 years too late though.
Of course it's 5 years too late, but you've got to look at it that. I'm looking at his football thing now. Where does he play at Everton? Does he get in the team?
Not if Lukaku's playing.
Does he get in the team?
So maybe Lukaku should come to United.
Well,
I'd fucking carry that cunt back from down that end of the M62.
Do you know what, Steve? I'd take him now, but not for the money. But like you say, you just mentioned that about the Brazilian kid. And
nothing makes sense.
Money.
How much from Morata? Yeah, whatever.
Fucking looks a snip, doesn't it? 89 million, you know what I mean? But it's only going to go more and more daft. But if he goes, I'll have fond memories of Wayne, and more fond memories of bad. I'll always remember his hat-trick on his debut against Fenerbahce.
Oh my God. How fucking excited was you?
Of course you was. And
as he buries that third one, I was looking at my mate and I was going, oh my God, what have we bought?
What I'll always remember about Wayne is the Newcastle game where we beat them 2-1.
Bollocking a ref.
But I was sat in a national suite.
Right.
At the Stretford end, and when he's hit that volley of ducks, I've ducked because it's just an all-metal thing, he's hitting and it's through in the back of the net past Shea Given. You know what I mean? And you've had some great memories of the goals he scored. I remember the goal he scored against Bolton, the 1-2 Ronaldo from their corner.
Oh my God, yeah.
And that's when he was at his pom there, you know what I mean? And there will be great memories. You can't play for all those years for a club like ours.
No. But I don't know how many appearances he's got. I think he's cruising in on 600, I think. Something along those lines.
There you go.
He's
always
been
been no back to Webby.
He's been an excellent footballer. It's just those last couple of years have left a bit of a sour taste, I think, because he has been treated preferentially by some people, and captain's privileges under Van Gaal really nosed everyone off that he was never dropped when he fucking should have been.
Never got taken off, did he?
Mourinho's handled it very fucking well, actually. Dropped him for the derby. Yeah. Massive uproar at the derby, and then not much after that. Yeah. Maybe that was when it got done. Maybe he went to Stretford then, get me out of here. He's not going to play me. Fucking
how many years left has he got in his contract too?
1 is the word with an extension if he wants it, or if we want it, or something. Is the word.
I'd like to get a few quid back, but like saying with the wages, what we're saving on paying him, and whoever's going to come in will be on big wages and it releases that money, but I think he'll go with his head held up high. He's been a great success.
I don't think we're being disrespectful talking about how much he's faded, and I don't think when we're assessing how good he is now, that reflects on what he's done.
I always remember, believe it or not, I watched the England-Germany game in the 2006 World Cup when they got beat 4-1 when Lampard scored the goal that they never give him. And the commentator says, I can't believe it, when Wayne Rooney's touch today is really off. I was screaming at the teller, for the last fucking 2 years it's been off. And then after that World Cup, it come on a level again. It looked like he was going down and he come on a level again.
I think in a lot of ways he was like Gerrard, as that he didn't have the greatest touch ever. He was never a Pirlo or a Carrick or a Scholes. He made up for a lot of his flaws with just pure fucking physicality. Yeah. And I think that's an English trait, I think, as an English footballer. I think we tear our ass around the place like a bull in a china shop and fucking make things happen. And Rooney definitely did that. And then you can have that in a team if you've got your Carricks and your Ronaldos and your finesse Scholes and Giggs around you. And Adam said last night, actually, on a full-time Devils thing, in our latter year success, especially in those Champions Leagues, even though Scholes he got the goal against Barcelona, Wayne Rooney had more of a part to play in those than Giggs and Scholes. Yeah. He just never had that buy-in with the fans. Like you can never see him diving in the Stretford end buzzing, can you? No. He scores for himself, I think, sometimes. Yeah. And I hope this doesn't come across as disrespectful, because I've got some fucking, I think you have as well, some fucking belting memories of the guy. But I'm not sad to see him leave. No. I jokingly said on Twitter last night, party at my house when he goes, and I'm half joking about that. I mean, I might have sausage rolls and a pint, but it's not even. You can't even say it's time for him to go. I think it was time for him to go.
I think so much if the way he's gone, he's leaving at the right time for everyone's thing. But I just can't get Everton have made all these signings, made some good signings, and now they're getting Rooney. What for? Where's he going to play? Is it to sell fucking shirts?
Raise their own club profile, possibly.
Raise the profile. I just said to an Everton fan, I put it on Twitter the other day, coming out and we're getting Rooney, we've got this and all that. I said, you want to sort your fucking ground out.
Oh God, yeah.
There you go. You know what I mean? The ground is. Do you know what Liverpool? I think the Liverpool fans call it the theatre of restricted views. You know what I mean? That sums it up.
If you've not been to Goodison, where they put you away, fans, it's wooden.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're between posts.
The floor is wooden, right? How is that not a fire risk? Right. Well, the seats. 2017, I think some of the seats are wooden, yeah. Never mind 2017, it's fucking 1917. That is an old ass stadium. No wonder they wanted a ground share with the Scouts.
I think he just gets a lick of paint. I think last time he got done up was for the 66 World Cup final. You know, and obviously with the Taylor report putting seats in. But if they want to go places, then to be honest, if it's not for nostalgic reason, they shouldn't have touched Rooney. So obviously that's telling me if they're paying big dollar Rooney and they've spent all this money now, that Lukaku...
They're selling something.
They've got to do it.
He's the sellable guy, isn't he? Yeah. So...
Has it already been done?
We saw this last year with Pogba. Juventus went on throwing that dough everywhere, didn't they? And they're going, no, we just got money, we got money. Yeah. And then it's all Pogba. Yeah. I think sometimes, like people complaining and flipping out over lack of transfers, I think sometimes United have to play the game with the club that they're buying a big asset off. Yeah. So they can say, look, if we sell Pogba to you, and then we go to Atletico Madrid for this guy, they'll be like, you just sold Pogba, we know you've got dough, lads. Yeah. How about you cough up some more? So I think sometimes you have to play the game and sit, and they'd be like, look, you're going to get him later than you wanted him. Because the talk was that Pogba was done for 2 years, so why did it take till August to get done? Yeah. So I think that sometimes...
I got told Christmas, mate, it was all done and dusted Christmas.
Pogba. Yeah. So I mean, but it's still dragged into August.
My
Isn't
man
it?
at United written a letter, sealed it, put it somewhere, dated it, got people to sign it, and he opened it in front of me. It was something like the 5th or 6th of January, Paul Copper is done to Manchester United. And it was signed by a load of people. It was stamped with a date on. And he's the one, like I said before, I texted him saying the Wolves are knocking at the door, and he's replied, and he's saying he's a little bigger flapper than me, and a lot of people on Twitter, and he went, tell the Wolves everything will be okay. So he knows something. But the thing is as well, why it's got tighter now, and all these press are shitting it, the people, the ex-players who were letting it out are no longer at the club, you know, so it's hard for them to get out the names. And
there was more fucking leaks than a sieve under Moyes. It was even under Fergie, actually.
Yeah.
I know that you know, and I know that you know that I know that we could find out 80% of what was going to happen in a transfer window. Definitely under Moyes, definitely under Fergie. A little bit under Van Gaal, depending on what it was.
Yeah.
I've heard not a fucking carrot about
anything.
The only one I'd heard of, and it was through you as well actually, was Mourinho was coming in about 6 months before it happened. But
That was only because the kid who I knew who was doing the story, and he told me not to say anything. And by the time he said I could say anything, I went to the bookies and he stopped taking bets. At one point Mourinho was like fucking 30 to 1 to come to United. It was big dough. But for my respect for this gentleman, bastard, I said I wouldn't do it, and then when he said to me, right, it's going to be released within a week, go. Obviously, the bookies have got wind before Webby.
Oh, they're paying people to find out because it's big dough in it for them.
And it's fucking gone, you won't take any money on them. But I remember going to the booking, it was like 28 to 1, it was like 10 favourite. And that's when he told me, and I need to speak to him as well because he's quite up on the. But like you're saying, these moles are the moles what we were listening to. And the moles have gone.
They're not there. They're not fucking there.
It's a right shitter as well.
It's not there.
It's no good.
The only way you've got to find them now is occasionally through an agent. And
someone saying something on Twitter. I don't know if this gentleman. I don't know if you follow him still. I'll just get you his name up now. I don't follow him. A friend of mine does. He's expected to be an agent or something. This gentleman here.
I know the name actually.
Apparently, obviously, he was tweeting something about my mate said, do I follow him? And I said no, but he was on the other week, Rooney's done and dusted, and he's coming. And well, like you're saying, it's just because throw a name in now, and you could strike lucky because of the moles, you know. But I just really hope that Woodward has got it sorted. Obviously, I watched the rugby last week. Obviously, I'm not a rugby fan, but I just watched it because it looked quite thingy. And I didn't see the pictures of Woodward there with his fucking hat and scarf on and all that. I'm thinking, if he's not fucking sorting this out and things go wrong, that will be pulled into why the fuck was you at the rugby in New Zealand.
But he's not getting sacked because he is the Glazer stooge. He was the man that organised the deal for bringing them to United. Yeah. He's not getting sacked. He might as well be one of their sons. Yeah. So
he isn't it? No. Looks like one.
So I don't think you'll get him sacked. But yeah, I mean, he fucked up that first window under Moyes. Could put that down to inexperience. But fucking hell, he's definitely got to improve how he does.
Well, you look at.
He did well last year though.
David Gill, love him or hate him. He was another Glazier. That is the road to ruin. But obviously he took the job, he took the statement, but we got everything done early doors, Steve. Under Fergie now and Gill, everything will be done now. The 3 or 4 or how many players we got have been in an hotel ready to go on tour. Now he ain't all this fucking rushing. Now surely these tour people are paying big dough. I must have been told, hey, we don't need to send any kids over. Because remember the other year when you had to take Scholes out of and send them over because they were kicking off. Scholes and they'd been in the European Championship or something. And got
it was a while ago.
Yeah, and they said to him, listen, get these fucking lads over now, we're paying you major.
Was that Australia?
It might have been Australia or America, but they made them fly over.
I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, I know the 18s and the 23s are off to Austria. They'll already be in Austria by the time this goes out. Yeah. Big year for them. Ricky Spraggier's back.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, the 23s.
Oh, is that? When did that come about?
2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
Excited for that, mate. Because he had a belt in your reserve team. PK, Rossi.
Same with McClare though. When McClare was the reserve team manager, they put him in charge of the academy, which I think was a bit of a downgrade in a way. from winning the league.
It depends how much responsibility he gets on it, doesn't it?
I know, but if you win the league and then you're not running the team you've been with all year, you just overhaul everyone. But that's a great. That shocked me. I liked him, mate.
I liked him.
Saved Sunderland right through.
Yeah, he went Sunderland. Did he go Sunderland straight from us?
Yeah,
because he was prior to Ollie getting a job, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And Joyce.
Has that been put in the press and all that? I wonder why I've missed it. Don't buy newspapers, Steve. I get too excited with everything.
Follow me on Twitter, mate, because I tell you. Yeah, Ricky Sprague is back.
That's good. That I like that. It's a good appointment. That.
I've had a look. I mean, this might be getting well carried away, but I've had a look where the Europa Youth League final is, because the under-18s, because of us being in the Champions League now, back in that Youth League, which I'm excited about, because that team with Angel, with Chong, with Burkhardt, with a couple of them players.
Levette, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully Dylan's going to pull it out for us, lad. Watching. The final, if they get there, is in April in Switzerland.
Oh, right.
So I've said, if they get there, I'm having that, because we've never been to the final of that.
Yeah.
I think that's well worth. Have you seen the trophy?
No.
Looks like an upside down engagement ring. Like, it's fucking weird.
I seen that one the other day for that Federations Cup. That was fucking bad enough. You know
so I fancy that, me. That's a good away trip.
That'd be hard to get to the final. Some second teams. You know.
Well, we're going to end up with a sick draw anyway, because we're in pot 2. So you're going to end up with a Juventus or a Madrid or a Munich in your group.
We're in pot 2 for that UEFA.
Your Champions League. So the first team's ending up with a Roman as the top
we're
seed.
In pot 2.
Yeah. So
should be in pot 1, Steve.
Changed it, didn't they? So it's only champions that are in pot 1.
Yeah, like Leicester last year.
Yeah. So yeah, they were pot 1. So there's we're going to end up with a Roman, and there's some Romans in pot 3 as well.
Yeah, we could end up with. There's some Romans in pot 4 as well.
Yeah. So the first team and the 19s are going to end up with some tough draws.
But Steve, at the end of the day, even if someone in pot 1 won't want to fucking draw us if we get it right. You know
no, if we signed 4 players on the level of what we signed last summer, plus Mourinho, because he impressed me in last year. Because you got to think, what does a manager? They say a manager only adds 10 or 15%. Well, he added the whole fucking 15% in some matches last year.
It was like, you look at some of the, you can go over them and you see those things on Twitter about all these draws, and it did upset you. But just looking at that list there, I think probably it was like one game when we were shit, probably up.
Liverpool, we got a result as a draw.
But
the rest of them was we didn't get a result from what we played.
Yeah. Stoke could have been 15-1.
Yeah, Burnley. Right, Chelsea beat us 4-0. They had 5 shots on target. Yeah. We had 37 shots against Burnley and didn't score. Like, how's that fucking right? So I don't think that's happening again. And you can't put that on Mourinho. If you come away with a draw there, that's not on Mourinho.
No.
He's set a team up to not concede chances and to create chances. That's all a manager can do. And if they're creating the chances and they're not finishing the chances, that's on the fucking players. So the players have to look at themselves for that. And I think next year, pre-season for Pogba, I'm fucking excited for him.
Yeah, but then I see Pogba fucking running all over China like with Adidas. Show your boots, son. You know what I mean? Because he's not stopped playing for probably 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
And then I seen him running up the fucking Great Wall of China and then playing these he should be relaxing. But
maybe that's how he relaxes. Yeah, maybe that's how he relaxes.
He's a kid and he's full of energy and like us old bastards here.
You see Jesse Lingard yesterday? Looked like he was in Clayton. Looked like he pulled up in Clayton and then had a kick about with a load of kids.
And he gets slaughtered for it.
Yeah.
It's like he got slaughtered coming into our bar. Putting that money, he got slaughtered.
Why? See, that's why Jesse Lingard gets fucking loved at this club. Because he ain't the best player in the world, and no one pretends he is. And I don't think he should be starting for United. And I don't think anyone's arguing with that. I don't think he'd argue with that.
No.
But you telling me there's not a place in the squad for that player? Fucking right there is. And him and Rashford, and maybe even Pogba to an extent, and some of these younger lads coming through, that's the fucking soul of this club, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
You know, when you can pull up in fucking Clayton and go and have a kickabout with the lads, people talk about modern football's gone out the window and this doesn't happen. Well, do you know what? Hesse fucking Lingardinho's going doing it, isn't it? And he's fucking going having a kickabout, making their kids summer. If you're on a 6-week holiday, it's not even for 6-week holidays yet, is it? But do you mind, I mean, 6-week holidays for them kids there, like,
well,
made.
Yeah, obviously he's going to it's mad though, you know what I mean? It's like when he put that tweet on and put the picture of me and him, and like your big head showing off, it was a bit appreciated to the fans. You know, and I'm thinking, whatever you do on social media, whether you're 100% right, someone's got something wrong to say against you. And you know what I mean? And I thought, I was getting into an argument with this kid. And I thought, oh, I can't be arsed with him. He's just jealous. You'd love to go into the bar and put £2.5, £3 behind the bar as appreciation. You didn't have to do it.
Well, there's 30 odd players in that squad who didn't fucking do it. The club captain didn't do it, and I don't think he's ever done anything like that.
No,
So yeah, I mean, Jesse gets a lot of love for that, because that is, I mean, what binds us to watching a fucking random collection of 11 guys? Nothing, really, is there? But when you know that the likes of Lingard and Rashford have stood in the Stretford end, of, you know, he went Anfield away, did he? In the crowd with the fans.
yeah.
I'd fucking love it if that become a thing at United, that this club does. That the players go in there with
I've
the
been in a
fans.
few away games where I remember sitting in front of Rojo at Stoke. Maybe a couple of games where the players are there, and then you're thinking, fair enough, but then they're bringing the families and the mates, and those tickets are coming away from the lads.
Yeah, well, the players are getting them tickets anyway, aren't they, if they want them. So it's not a fucking major noise, I don't think. I mean, we know that United away tickets are a fucking gold dust anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
But there's always players earmarked. So I can't ever have a fucking nose about that. 'Cause, well, to be fair, that's how I get fucking most of my aways.
Yeah, I know it's something like when you see Phil Jones jumping up at Anfield and he was out with a back injury, thinking, I should have been at Anfield, you should have been at home resting your back.
Instead of ballooning.
Instead of ballooning, and you don't play for another 2 or 3 months. Well, the month
I'd love it though if that every player that wasn't in the matchday squad was in the crowd.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Because that doesn't happen enough.
Oh.
I wish that did happen.
But don't bring your fucking family.
Yeah, just the players.
Just
Like,
the player,
you've earned
player
it.
and one
That's
mate.
fucking happy days. Jobs are good up. And we'll look after if you want as well. How about that? If you need a hand.
So obviously it's going to be like, obviously before this goes out Monday, you don't know, we could have signed 1, 2, 3, nobody.
Yeah, probably nobody's the money.
But it's got to get sorted because you need to get these players settled. Don't want them coming in the last week, missing all pre-season. It just tells me United fucking have out again over pennies. Get it spent if they're right. But I look at this thing as like Lindelof. You know and heard of him, to be honest. Go for what we need, not the name. You know what I mean? Don't go for the big world star name.
Well, I did have an issue with signing Lindelof actually because it was rumoured in January about him at first that he was coming in January.
Yeah.
So since January I've watched him, and I think defensively he ain't what we need.
Right.
But he is very, very good on the ball. So what you're looking at is a taller version of Blind. Now maybe that's what Jose wants.
Where do you stand on the left backs in that situation?
I think I want to see Luke Shaw given the opportunity to make it his on the tour. I think he's good enough to take it.
Is he fit though now?
That's the question, isn't it? Took Valencia a long time to recover from his broken leg.
It did, and he's a young lad. It was a horrific break. I was over there in Ireland. It was terrible. At that point, we looked so balanced with Darwin on the right and Shaw on the left. We were so balanced. But then you heard in rumours he's obviously come from Southampton. Brought loads of his mates down to live with him. They were all students. You know, I'm not saying you know what students like. They like a beer and a kebab.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's at the right environment. And I don't think all this thing is overweight and all that, because you can't get away with it now, Steve. There's that many sports dietitians and you're eating this. Years ago you could. But now, you just can't have people, he's too fat looking. He couldn't be playing for the biggest club in the world.
Yeah, I think he's a stocky build. I think he's got a big ass. So
Same with Michael Owen.
Yeah.
And those white shorts, you know what I mean? His ass looked like this back in the side.
He tucked it in as well, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
No, I think Luke Shaw's potentially a world-class left-back.
Yeah.
And I think...
Do we need to send him out of law with... If he's not going to... I don't want us to sell him.
No, I wouldn't want to see him sold. Maybe. I mean, Demi impressed the fuck out of me against Crystal Palace.
For
Do you know what? Yeah, for a winger. He's only played half a dozen or a dozen games at left-back in his whole life.
Yeah.
But what's one of the most dangerous things you can come up against? Wilfred Zaha. I mean, you're not going to get twisted up much more than when you play against him. Now, he might not be the most consistent, but I bet he's fucking hard work to keep a track of. And Demi dealt with him and also helped out going forward as well. So that was a fucking top game.
What do you think about the kid we sold?
I don't.
Yeah.
I knew he wasn't signing his contract, so it wasn't a shock to me.
Well, obviously Mourinho mustn't have knew that, because Would he have played him in that game?
We offered him one, didn't we? We offered him one, and maybe that was a sweetener for him. He's a very good player.
Now the manager who signed for Preston has now left.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Grayson, who signed him, is now Sunderland manager.
Shitter. I think he'll do very well at Preston, and I think he'll be in the Premier League in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, for us.
I don't know if it'll be for us or not. The thing is, he's 21. He's older than Marshall.
Right.
You need those first team games at that age. It's no good playing in the 23s. I've never been so sure though as Pogba played that fucking peach of a ball through for him.
Yeah.
He goes into the box. I've just watched him. I was sat with little Alex lad in the wheelchair. Yeah. I sat in the disabled section with him for the last home game for the 23s where our scored that trick and Mourinho was there. Yeah. That's the first game under 23s I've seen Mourinho at as well, by the way. He scores that trick and I was like, wow, madness. As soon as he goes through after that ball from Pogba, I just had the confidence this was a goal. Yeah. I've never seen someone I'd just be so sure that he's going to get it. But he's not going to force his way into United next year. I don't think he'd have been given the opportunity. So if he goes out, becomes a starter at Preston.
Yeah, but surely someone from United should be saying to him like, listen, you played, you've done well. Sign this contract, we'll send you out in the year, loan for the year.
You're not in control, are you? Because like Borthwick Jackson got fucked about Royal last year on loan at Wolves.
Where's he gone now? He's right out of the picture, isn't he? I liked him, big.
There's a lot of politics involved in what happened with him between Wolves and United, but essentially the kid got fucked. I spoke to him after that game. Actually, I was chatting to him after. Arup come over and give his boots to Alex, which you got to love. You got to love that. He's walking out with a match ball. He's just fucking scored that trick at Old Trafford. Gives his fucking boots to Alex. Top man. But yeah, I spoke to Cam and I said, "Are you here next year?" Because I knew he's out of contract. Well, I think he might have just he signed his contract the previous year. I don't know how long he signed it for. And I said, "Are you here next year?" And he went, "Do you want to be here next year though? After what's just happened?" And he went, "Yeah, I do. Yeah." He goes, "I want to get on the tour. He goes, I want to prove myself." I said, "Right, fair fucking enough." Because there is a real player. They're totally different to Luke Shaw in how he is as a left back. He's more reserved.
Did all right, didn't
he? You know, you've got. I mean, in the picture, you've got Darmian, probably the first choice if you don't fuck off to Italy, which seems likely. Yeah. Demi's definitely done himself no harm in that performance. But do you know what I think sometimes is, over the last few weeks, I've been learning about analysis, performance analysis and stuff like that, and the preparation that a team does before they play you. Well, they wouldn't have done any prep on Demi Mitchell. They wouldn't have done any prep on Arup or any of them lads. So that's sometimes why a player can come in and have a fucking belting game in their first game because the opposition don't know about them. That's when it becomes harder, your second and third season, because teams know about it.
Your second season, the only one you can say who's done it consistently is Giggs. That second season, you know what I mean? Because other players went away first season, they come on other clubs and look at bollocks, and then probably like the likes of Owen dropped off for a bit at Liverpool, then come back again. But Giggs was the only one. I'm just saying it from Red. Got better. People got to know his game and then become quicker and bigger. I've just watched a video on Rashford. He was over in America, isn't it, that night camp. He's put some top beef on, and I think that was his problem at first. He was only getting knocked off the ball. Even in that final in Stockholm, he was getting knocked off by that big lad. And obviously he looked well, so hopefully.
I hear only positive shit about Rashford. Yeah. That he's in the gym, he's putting the graft in, he's grabbing under 16 keepers and he's fucking doing free kicks and he's doing all the shit that the class of '92 lads did. Yeah. And if you get Rashford, you get Lingard. If you get Lingard, you get Pogba. If you get Pogba, you get Marshall. And then you've got a click, and that's that team spirit comes in that. Mourinho will be sat there in his office fucking doing his work. If he looks out and sees them, I bet he's like...
I think it's a big year for Martial next year.
Yeah.
Massive year. Because looking at me, I thought it was... Obviously, the left was the option which he got used quite a lot. But down the middle for me. But he didn't seem to get... I don't think he...
He's not going in ahead of Ibra, is it? That's the problem.
And when he come on against... Didn't he come on against Middlesbrough and equalise?
I think there's a number 9 in there, mate. Yeah. He reminds me a lot of...
Is he on the French squad now?
I don't know. I don't think he went this summer. Did he play this summer? He did play this summer. I don't know if he went.
He didn't play against England, did he?
I don't watch England.
No, but he played England the other week.
I don't know. I wouldn't fucking know. All I saw was on Twitter that fucking Pogba was ruining that Dyer. But yeah, I
He
mean,
ruined everyone that night. I did actually admit I did watch the England friends game just for
pop.
Pop.
I think there's a lot of
He ruined him. He sent a lot on holiday early.
there's a lot of Brazilian Ronaldo, I think, in the way Marshall runs with a ball.
Yeah.
Not got that dynamite that
No.
original Ronaldo had, but there's a lot of him in it, like that power running with brilliant dribbling. I think he just needs games down the middle. I think anyone improves with games. Rashford's played 71 fucking times for us, man.
Yeah.
Blows your head off that, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? 71 times. Remember his David, was it Midtjylland, yeah, when Martial got...
Martial goes down in the warm-up
Yeah.
and he gets fucking chucked in. I spoke to him, that was on the Thursday. The Friday night, the Academy played in the Youth Cup. Who did it play? No, it wasn't the Youth Cup, we'd already been knocked out. They had an under-18s game at Altrincham. And I seen him now with his missus, with his little fucking bird there. I went over to him and I was like, fucking hell, lad, like, first team and all that lot. I was like, was you nervous? And he goes, no. And you just believe him. I was like, I don't think he was nervous, actually.
I don't think he had time to be nervous, did he? You know, I think he might have known 2 days before he was playing all the day,
Like,
and then he could have got a bit...
Bad night's sleep, maybe.
Yeah, and then obviously Bumfries pulled whatever, you're in, bang, 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 and then obviously the Arsenal game on the...
Fucking 2 more.
Unbelievable.
He played 19 times that season after making his debut at the end of Feb. Like, what?
The City game.
Yeah. Winning a Manchester derby.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to break that record, how good would it be for Bit of Rashford? Because to do that, he's going to have an hell of a career.
Isn't it? What you'll be on? What's he scored total goals now?
19, I think.
So he's got
234 to go. Not that I'm counting.
So yeah, he's got.
It might be 21. It's 19 or 21. It's one of those.
Well, he's got. Like I say, he's got 20, 25, hasn't he now
for 10 years.
If he plays him down,
asking it. Someone asked on the internet the other day. Mentioned Rashford's played 71 games for United so far. Like, wow, how far is he off gigs? Like, let me work this out. So to get to anywhere near it's phenomenal. When you try and actually think about what Giggs has done, Rashford needs to average 50 games a season, so that's every league game and every Champions League game, probably if you get to the quarters or semi, or you can miss a couple, but you're gonna have to play all the FA Cup. It's basically 50 games a season's a tough ask. 50 games a season for 17.8 seasons. Call it 18 seasons. What? So Rashford, to get to Giggs' level, needs 50 games a season from now until he's 37. What?
Not gonna happen, is it?
What? How did he play 963 games Ryan Giggs played? How the fuck did he do that? How the fuck did he do that?
You don't you miss it until it's gone, do you?
Well, when he passed, what was Bobby Charlton? He was 800 or something when he beat Charlton's late 8s, I think it was.
I can't remember.
Fucking what?
Was it Moscow equal it? Wigan he surpassed it there.
Was it 8? Was it 8? 5, 9 or something?
Steve, fucking hell.
Fucking. I was sat there after I've done the calculations. I was like, 18 seasons, 50 games a season to beat what Giggs did, and you're like,
It's not happening.
probably isn't happening, is
It's
it?
not going to happen because it means a kid's got to come into the team at 16, 17 and stay around that first team for 20 odd years and be good enough to play. It's
Every
not happening.
fucking year.
It's not happening, mate. It's not happening.
No, or to beat the record Rooney's just fucking got 25 goals a season, which is leading scorer pretty much for every season. We don't have that many that score 25 a season.
It's not happening, Steve. It's not happening.
Ibra just got 28,
Yeah, but
and he was fucking vital. Missed the back end of that season, but
I just think those two records could stay forever. He's like saying he's going to take his kid to come through, or we buy someone at a young age and he stays for 10, 15 years to beat them. Goal scoring record. You just can't see, Steve.
there was a bit of talk. Obviously, Ronaldo is not fucking coming. Don't even fucking think about it. But there was some talk of how long would it take Ronaldo if he came back to beat that record. And you're like, well,
Mormon's goals, Ronaldo's goals for United.
119, I think. So he needs 130
He'd do it.
odd. He would do it.
Do it.
Because he would need 3 seasons with 100 and something goals to go.
4 seasons.
3 seasons at 40, I think it might have been. No, that would have been just short. 3.5 seasons, which he can do because he's in fucking top shape. He's in belting neck, innit? Can you imagine that though? Rooney's been here since 2014. Ronaldo's been here 03 to 09.
Yeah.
Fucks off for 9 years.
Comes back
And fucking beats the record.
Oh, that would boil piss that. Boil Rooney's piss.
But I think he's got over 700 career goals now for international and what he's done at Madrid and...
Remember we'll sign him on
remember when he had no end product? 700 goals.
We'll sign him on the Thursday or the Friday, wasn't it? And then he'd come on a sub against Bolton.
Yeah. With a number 7 shirt.
With a little thing in his hair.
The fuck is this?
Because there was talk we were going to buy him and send him back on loan, weren't we? Back to Lisbon. But the rest of history, you know what I mean?
Hell of a fucking player he is. He's in the top 3 all time, I think, for me. Him and Messi. I don't know where they sit. I don't like getting into that argument with people. But I think they're both ridiculous.
2 different players.
Yeah.
Both different players.
Ronaldo could do it at Stoke, couldn't he?
Yeah.
He could do it anywhere. He could do it in League One.
Yeah.
I like him more as a number 9 now.
I tell you what would be good though, wouldn't it? It never happened. Pair of them playing together. Imagine that.
Never passed though, would you? You
No,
need
he
2
wouldn't.
balls. Who the fuck do you get to play between them?
He was like that, you know, Brian Clough. He was a cunt, him. He'd push his own teammates off the ball to score. I tell you what, he was some player as well, mate. So I've never seen him play live, but I've read his books and what people have said about him before that injury.
I knew good manager from what I've heard.
But what a player. He retired when he was about 23, 24. Only young, got a bad hand. Played for Middlesbrough. Fucking unbelievable goal scoring record. Have a look later on, his goals per game was unreal. But he used to push, his teammate was going through open net, he'd push him off the fucking ball.
Winner.
Great manager as well.
Winner. Speaking of from that era, one of my favourite ones to watch, goal scorers, for a proper fucking Gary Golski, Gerd Muller. You ever see him live?
No. What was his nickname now? Can't think.
Der Bomber.
Der Bomber, that was it. He was a player. He was a player.
I think he averaged like 1.17 goals a game.
He was a player.
70 odd in a season.
I was lucky,
70 odd in a season.
I was lucky enough to have a good chat with Ruud Gullit in Stockholm the night before the final in a little restaurant which we was both in at the same time, obviously, and we spent a good half an hour.
Play as well. He was
spent
part
a
of
good half an hour talking about the Milan team.
Well, actually, the guys on the podcast know my favourite non-United team is '89 Milan team. The last team to win prior to Madrid actually did it this year, didn't they? Back-to-back Champions Leagues, European Cups.
Costa Curta.
So it was full of eye ties, and then
Maldini,
3 Dutch.
Franco Bareza.
It was Rijkaard, Van Basten, and Gullit was the 3 Dutch, and everybody else was Italian. And Sacchi as manager.
Yeah.
Ancelotti in midfield.
Yeah, Ancelotti.
Baresi, Maldini, Donadoni, Albertini.
Yeah. Maldini.
Who was the keeper? Was Off the keeper?
No, it was what was Zoff was Juventus, wasn't it? It was
It's a famous keeper that I'm blanking on. Hell of a team though.
But
you read about how Sacchi set them up. Boring, 1-0. But the centre forward wasn't allowed to be more than 30 yards away from the centre half. So they moved up and down the pitch like this fucking unit. But the flair was Gullit, Rijkaard and Van Basten, and the Italians was just a...
He was a man for me on that team, Franco Bareza. What a son. He was smoking cigars in, mate. I think he played till about 41, 42. The same as Maldini played till late. And I think
they've retired the 6 and the 3 at Milan because of them two.
Yeah, that fucking Bareza was... Oh.
What was he saying about that team then?
He was just saying it was just a privilege to just play in a team like that, and he was, and I said to him, but you was a superstar. He went, I wasn't. He said, that's what people thought. He said, but I was in awe of these players. You know what I mean? He was talking
he was young though. Yeah. He was young at that team. He wasn't an old bloke in that team. I bet Van Basten was the peach in that team. But didn't he finish young as well, Van Basten?
Yeah, I'm calling you, but he was saying the amount of respect that like a Baresi got and a young Maldini, you know.
They've said the number 3 can only go to a Maldini. Yeah. So his son's there, isn't he, at Milan. If he comes through, he's getting the 3, but I think that's mint that. I wouldn't like to see it at United, but I like what they've done with it.
Actually, he's a nice bloke as well when Milan won the European Cup and he beat Juve at Old Trafford, the worst final they've been to. We actually got into the party up at Christ, what's the name of the hotel now where England stayed? Mottram Hall.
Oh, yeah.
We blagged in there, me and Tommy Dunn, the famous Tommy Dunn. And I've got some cracking pictures. I think I've had them on Twitter and my phone book's there. With Rivaldo. Maldini was $1 million. Sat chatting to us for like half an hour. You know what I mean? He just lifted the European Cup. I don't know if he was a captain, he might have been.
Yeah, he would have been then, yeah.
But what a bloke. And the hotel security come to kick us out, and he said we was his friends, and he didn't have to. You know what I mean? But what a lovely bloke, you know what I mean? And he spoke very good
He's one of the
English.
ones that Fergie says, if I could have signed anyone, Maldini would have been.
Spoke very, very good English. Unbelievable bloke, and a great football player as well, you know what I mean? And now he's playing golf. Is it tennis?
Yeah, pro tennis.
Pro tennis, yeah, well, it's, you know. And you're saying about the number 3 sheet, you know deep down with being a Maldini that his son will make it because it's in the blood, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Well, there's every chance, isn't it?
His dad was a good player.
Cesare.
Good player.
I don't know what his son's called. But yeah, his old man was player and manager, I think, at Milan.
Yeah.
But yeah. Maldini. He had a gigs career, didn't he, at Milan?
I was just saying that one the other day about going on about Scholes in gigs and Neville just staying at our place and fucking Gerrard, one club man, and he fucks off to America, and now what's John Terry gone to Birmingham? He can't be short of a few, Bob. He's gone at the game now because he would have been playing for Chelsea last year if he wasn't. I just think he's gone at the game.
I can't wait. I don't like him anyway, but I think, and I don't rate him either, I think he'll get exposed to the Championship. That's a fucking tough league, man.
I know it is.
And I think without the class of Kante in front of him and another centre-half next to him, he's going to get embarrassed, and I can't wait till he has to be dropped for Villa, because I will laugh my bollocks off.
Yeah. I don't know, obviously Villa used to be a big club, well they still are.
One more titles than Chelsea. And a European Cup.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But I don't know, I just think some of these players, why did he do it? Well, they can't be skinned, and they try to prove something.
I don't know.
And to be made look fools.
Giggs did it right, didn't he? Scholes did it right.
Yeah.
Finish at the top-ish.
Yeah.
No, well, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, Scholes' famous quote, Fergie's done me a favour when he retired. He retired for the second time. Fergie's done me a favour. No one cares about me.
Yeah, kept
no one asked about him.
Gone, wasn't he? Gone.
Fucking loves it.
Gone.
I mean, I fucking appreciate the fuck out of that mentality that Scholes has got. I think he's one of the bitterest pundits ever, but you can also see it comes from a place of love, and it comes from a place of high standard. It's because of the standards he's got, isn't it? Like he thinks United should be, undefeated.
He'd rather watch their Adam play football than watch United. Obviously, he's got his love for Salford.
I've got Stephen Howson's coming doing my podcast.
Oh, Steve's now
the centre half at Salford.
No, he's
so I
gone
thought,
now.
yeah, no, oh yeah, sorry, he's gone on here, but yeah, I mean, because I thought that's just funny, innit?
Yeah.
Get Stephen Howson to come
He's
do the Stephen Howson
fan.
podcast.
Yeah.
I want a Howson 5 Salford shirt.
Yeah. He's a good lad, Steve. I met him quite a few times.
He did well in that cup run, didn't he?
The fixtures out today. They start with Hartlepool at home, which is a tasty match. Got FC United Boxing Day and New Year's Day. Stockport quite early on in the season. But with the signings they've made, I think obviously they've got now full time. They've lost quite a few of the players who couldn't commit to the
well, they just redone the stadium, hadn't they? But they did it inside a year. I know it's not massive what they've done.
I think once it's done, it'll be about 5,000. Obviously, if they're going to get bigger, than which the lads want.
Where's the hill gone, Webby?
Oh, the hill's gone. Gary's that's the hill now. Is an executive box.
Fuck off.
Yeah, it's an executive box. The hill has some great times on there with Gary and the lads. You know, it's proper football, Steve. You know what I mean? Characters.
Well, that's why I like watching the young lads, because there's no bullshit. They're here for the football, and that's what they're here for. I like it. I don't mind watching. I go watch Staley Bridge or Droylsden.
Yeah.
I don't really want to jump on that Salford bandwagon.
I used to go and watch Droylsden quite a lot. Danny Hill there in Droylsden. Used to stand on the hill at Droylsden when he used to play for him. Les Nixon, Eric Nixon's brother, City's old goalkeeper.
Before Dave Pace.
Well, before Dave Pace, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
There's some people who are watching this having a fucking Scooby what we're on about here. The big Google in Droylsden.
Yeah, Droylsden, the Bloods. Come on, you Bloods at the Butcher's Arms. Fucking hell.
The Butcher's Arms gone now, the pub.
Oh, the pub gone?
The pub's gone now,
Sure.
yeah. So it's still called the Butcher's Arms Ground.
Oh, so the pub's, the old house is gone?
Yeah, but they've got the King's Head on the corner, haven't you? But there's no Butcher's
Oh,
Arms.
the Butcher's Arms is gone now.
Yeah. So it's still called the Butcher's Arms for no fucking reason.
A lot of pubs have gone now, Steve. It's the way of the fucking world.
I mean, a long time ago, the Butcher's Arms might have gone.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm probably going to come at Salford anyway, I think, at some point this season.
They will play United, don't they, in a few weeks?
Yeah, I'm going for that anyway. But I'm thinking about going to TNS next week. But it'll be this week by the time this comes out. The 18th or 19th? Something like that, anyway.
What are they playing?
They're in the Champions League, aren't they?
Yeah.
They play in England. They play near Shrewsbury or something. I think it's
Right,
Shrewsbury.
because I went to watch Connor's Key, obviously near Vicky's house. They're in Europa League.
Mad, isn't it?
It's fucking...
So I'm going to go
That's
for a
when,
laugh because I think it was like 2,500.
Yeah, see, they always win the Welsh League though, don't they? You know, it's mad though, isn't it? I remember some Welsh team last year, part-timers, had tweeted United who was in the Champions League. Oh, fucking hell. But fair play when you're living the dream, aren't you? You know what I mean?
So I thought, yeah, I'm going to go support them. I'll go and have a watch and see what the game's like. Champions League music in a fucking ground that holds 2,500.
Who's he playing?
Oh, fucking hell. I think
Don't Linfield play Celtic?
Yes, and there's a away fan ban apparently as well.
Oh, is there?
Because that might get rum.
Yeah, it will get rum.
Me and Ben are over for the Sampdoria game in Dublin. And we're there the Tuesday and the Wednesday. United play on the Wednesday. But the Tuesday, I think, is it Cork? Cork are in the draw, I think. Or it might be. It was last week or two. Anyway, I don't know if they've got through.
Right.
But there's potential for a game to be in Dublin or near Dublin on the first, potentially.
Tuesday night?
Yeah, on the Tuesday night. So I might be able to, because I think you may be coming as well.
Yeah, bit of work issues at Ups at the moment. Trying my best, but it could be very unlikely. But definitely in Oslo. That'll be a good 3 days in Oslo. Going on a Friday with Sam and Steve, who does United We Stand outside the hotel off Twitter. We've got a big boat ride on the Saturday. Sam's driving it, so no, it should be good. Good, and obviously spreading the word of the, I won't say it, the
Sponsors, I can say it.
sponsors, Red Army Bet. Obviously next year we'll be up and going now, but it's good if you join up because we're offering the best odds on United. So if Pogca's 6-1 at Ladbroke, we'll give you 8-1. You know, and it's all about.
Webby's got sponsorship, man.
So it's all about that. It's not just about football, there'll be horse racing, because everyone likes a little bet, especially you go into a match and you dreamt it the night before that Ruud van Nistelrooy's going to score 2 goals, and then you're looking for a bet in the ground, they're offering you 2-1, and we're offering 5-1.
It is shit in the ground.
Yeah, so just keep on it on Twitter and just watch out for it, but it'll be good for all United fans and people who like a little bet on a Saturday. It'll be good.
Alright, nice one, Webby.
Steve, Topman.
Really enjoyed that. If you enjoyed that, let us know in the comments. Obviously, go and give Webby a follow at United_Webby in it on
That's the
Twitter.
one, yeah.
Go give him a Miva on Twitter. He's a good follow. And shit, we're in for a fucking hell of a season, I think, mate.
Hopefully, I just want to get stuck in. I'm not going to panic like panickers do. I just want to do it the United way. Let's put things to bed early doors like we used to do under David Gill.
Do you know what I miss? Oh, what I'm hoping for? Mourinho teams used to steamroll teams, didn't they?
Yeah.
I want that, mate, this year. When was the last time we proper steamrolled a couple teams? Been a long time, hasn't it?
Look it now.
Feels like it. Anyway, we're out of here. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please subscribe. And shit, I'm sure we'll see you over the course of the season. Laters.